Okay guys, welcome back to another video. Today we have our two bagged machines in the shop, in the garage today, not in the shop.
In the workspace.
Yeah, so today we are doing an air suspension maintenance day. The block on this one is doing nonsense and this one is leaking. So when we did the feature on this one, I might have said that the car was holding up good, and it was. Until that day. We went to go shoot, then the block started giving stress, and then the amp also stopped working. We sorted out the amp. It wasn't major. That's why we need to fix that one, because it's losing pressure and then that happens and then the battery dies. So we need to find the leak there so that can stop happening.
Hopefully you can still hear us. But what we're going to be doing,
that solved nothing
at all.
Okay.
What we're going to be doing today, effectively, is what you do naturally when servicing your air suspension. Because we're going to be inspecting for leaks, which you should do when you're servicing your air suspension. Cleaning out the block and the water trap and everything else. So
let's do that. So I've had an issue with this car for some time. And I thought it was a management, so I even bought a completely new management and it's doing the same thing. I don't know if you can hear me now because now this one's making noise, but what would happen with the rear right is that it would get stuck open, the valve on the block. And I replaced the management and it still does the same thing, so I don't know.
Also clean the block, see if it stops.
Well, this is how I solved the issue. When I clean the block,
it stops for a little bit.
It stops for a few months, yeah. So let's see if this thing does it.
So that's what it does.
There we go.
See how it's going down on its own? The other side is still up.
Then sometimes, like now, it locks, but other times it doesn't, and then you try and go up and then it doesn't sit like there. Now it's just falling. See, like now it's stuck. Now
it is held.
Now it's sealed. But yeah, so that's quite annoying. Just when you're trying to drive the car, like you want to leave and now you can't because the back end doesn't want to come up.
It's also pretty dangerous.
Now it's never done it while driving.
But there's no reason why it couldn't.
No, because when it seals, the pressure holds it. The thing is when it gets stuck. What is happening is there's two valves in the block, an intake and an exhaust, right?
Yes.
That's connected on the same bag.
Yes.
So there's a valve coming in here, which is air in from the tank that goes to the bag.
Yes.
So if that one opens up, it fills the bag, right? Then they sealed. Then if that one opens up, then air goes out through there, through the exhaust line.
Right.
So what's happening is my exhaust line valve is getting stuck open. So as soon as the air comes in from the tank, it's going straight out the exhaust.
Right. Now what I'm saying is when they're both closed, right?
Then it's fine.
Then the thing holds pressure.
Yes.
But as you're busy driving and the wheels moving around.
No, but it won't, because it's the other one is sealed. It's the exhaust one that's getting stuck.
Yeah, but
so only if I touch the button on the exhaust to release pressure, then it gets stuck open.
Right.
So while I'm driving, it will be fine.
I hear what you're saying.
But if I touch the buttons, then it will make shit.
Right, but I'm not saying the intake valve is going to open at all.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is it might be dangerous because there's pressure. So pressure's building in the line, right? Because the line is also pressurized. If you hit a bump and it opens for whatever reason,
it won't open.
That's
not how it's designed.
But you don't know that.
I'm telling you, that's not how it's designed. It won't open with a bump. Because it needs it needs current to open. The problem is when the current lets go, there's gunk build up and it gets stuck.
We'll talk about it off camera.
It won't open, bro.
We'll talk about it off.
I have a flat battery is what I have.
We need to charge the battery in your
Yeah, the battery died. So while we're busy, I'm gonna leave it on the charger.
Yes.
Okay. Now we can leave it to charge.
So now.
Okay, so back to air servicing. First thing you want to do is depressurize your system. Easy way to do that is through your water traps. And since you need to drain them anyway.
So you see the tank is almost empty, and that's just about empty to the point where the valve won't even seal.
So I'm just gonna pull the plugs out the back. That's one of the easiest things to do. So that's what's nice about the P7. When you want to remove it, you don't have a whole bunch of wires that you have to disconnect like the VU4.
Yeah.
You just pull out one plug. Yeah. Okay, so now we're just going to remove these hardline fittings, and the block should
come out. Ugh. 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 Yeah, I think this is the cord here. This one was the hardest to get off, and you can kind of see if this thing will focus. Focus. Yeah, you can see that the stuff that's all up in there, all up on my finger. So let's see if we can get that cleaned out.
Okay, so the block is out, and I use electrical contact cleaner and a little bit of 20 of the Q kind.
Is there anything different? Yeah, there's a lot. This is a new one.
No, it's the same one.
The one you used on my windows?
Yep.
Nah, I thought we used a lot of it on my windows. Damn, it's crazy.
So, what I like to do first is go in with this electrical contact cleaner.
Let's just show them what we discovered and why I was saying ugh.
So,
the flash on.
You can see it's quite dirty inside there.
Compared to the rest of them?
Even there's some, but those are the front ones. See, the one that's giving me issues is the rear right. And actually that seems to be one of the cleanest ones.
Yeah, because it's all sitting in the valve.
Probably.
But you can just see, this is the one where we found all the gunk, and this is the inlet valve on this side that's getting stuck, if that makes sense. So
exactly. So I like to hit it with a little bit of electric contact cleaner, just like that. And this is all safe for electronics, so
that should be fine. Don't use water, kids.
Yes, don't use water. Do not use water. That's the worst thing you can do to your air system.
Because now you're going to introduce more rust into the room.
Yes.
Anyway, so while this sits, we're going to perform a leak test on the other one.
Yes. So get yourself some of this. This is Shield Mag Cleaner bottle, and then inside we have sunlight dish soap and some water.
Yep.
To make a soapy solution so we can look for leaks.
So
you'll see how it works in a second.
Exactly. If you take a look, or if you remember from the beginning of the video, that should be full, and it is no longer full.
Yes, and it was running the compressors.
Yes. So effectively, The reason why we believe that it's the block as I was saying, the tank is pressurizing and then all of a sudden the compressor goes off. Well, it goes on. But when you're driving, the bags stay up, it's not leaking from the bags or anything, and that's why we believe that it's coming from the block. Tiago was explaining earlier that it is a closed system, and at every checkpoint, there is a stop valve preventing air
No, there's no stop valve.
Well, there is a stop, because the compressors have a...
The compressors have a one-way valve.
Stop valve.
So from your tank to your bags, it's one way.
Yes.
Closed system.
But that's what I mean when I say at every point there's a stop valve or one-way valve, right?
Yes.
So compressors to the tank, no air will ever be going, well, should ever be going backwards. Then from your tank to your block, air should not be going backwards.
No, that's fine.
No, but, well, yes, but it shouldn't.
No, it can. That's how it works. There's no one-way valve from your tank to your block. There's no one-way valve.
But it shouldn't. It's either going into the bags or out.
No, it's compression. It's sealed. It's a system. What dictates it is the valves. If the valve opens, it lets air flow through the system. If it's closed, it creates two separate systems. But it doesn't have to flow one way or the other.
Okay.
See, like your one-way valve on your compressor only lets air go forward.
Right.
So that it doesn't blow it out, the seals, the suction part of the compressor.
I said one-way valve.
Yeah,
which
but
means it's not
was
really
wrong.
a one-way valve.
No, but you were wrong. It's not a one-way valve. It's a valve.
If the air's in a tank, it makes sense to them.
What you're trying to explain is like a turbo sucks in air here, it magic happens over there, and fire comes out the exhaust.
That's all they need to know. That's really all they need to know.
That's not how it works, though.
Listen, there's air in your tank. If you open the valve and your bags are empty, the air leaves the tank and goes into the bags. When your air out, it does not go back into the tank, it goes out of the outlet.
Nobody cares, let's fix the car.
Anyway,
Okay.
we're testing the block because we know that it's the block because nothing else is leaking.
We're not testing the block.
We are testing the block.
We're testing everything.
But there's no point in testing the bags because we know the bags aren't leaking. That's what I'm saying, Tiff. Yeah, but today why are you fighting me today?
Because you're talking rubbish.
Yes.
Yes. There's no leaks there. Doesn't look like anything is happening there.
Okay. See, when we work, we can work fine. The problem is when we're talking. So from now on, shut up.
So only you're allowed to do the talking. Who gave you that authority?
Dictatorship, remember?
These are doubted leaks because hardlines are notorious for not leaking. Now we have to go to where I didn't want to go.
Yes.
To the underneath.
Where, oh where could my leak be? But that's from the compressor, that shouldn't...
Yeah, but it's after the one-way valve. I really thought it was going to be those ones there.
And this is why when you take your car in and you're like, it's leaking, and then your air service provider takes 3 days to tell you what's going on with your bag, it's because it's not always as simple as it seems.
And the guy charges you like $1,000 just to fix and find your leak, and then you're like, this is why.
And this is not because it was fitting correctly, it's not because...
It's just air.
It's just air.
It's the nature of it.
Those water traps definitely aren't leaking at the bottom.
No. We've discovered it.
Yes.
Let me put the flash on. So there we go.
We pressurized the kit and did some spraying, whatever. Obviously these would now be pressurized because before the car was aired down, but you can clearly see all of these are bubbling except for
this one.
This one. So
this is what the soap water does. So when air, even if the slightest amount of bubbles, it will start foaming up. You know what? Drop the bags and we'll spray it again.
Right.
Because that potentially is not the problem. Okay, now let's do that again. Give me flash. Ow. Yeah, now you'll have no leaks, which is exactly what I was thinking, because this shouldn't be a problem then.
Okay, because that shouldn't matter.
Yes.
Well, it does matter. There shouldn't be a leak in the
But
first place.
when we left the car, that leak is so small that it makes
Really
zero
matters.
to no difference.
The leak is happening somewhere between the block and the tank.
Yeah, because now we've just clarified, because the car still loses pressure even though it's air down.
Yes.
And that's what causes the comps to turn on. So after finding out that problem, that means that is not the problem. Which, yeah, we did. So I got to show you how the soap worked, but
This is not our problem.
it's not.
It's
That car
nothing.
smells like sunlight.
You might as well have sprayed the seats to see the seats
Smells
are
like
leaking.
sunlight and balloons.
Right, now let's deal with this leaky boy over here.
So I'm gonna take it back to the car,
Donkey here, boy.
but now we don't have a battery. That's a problem.
What do you want to do in the car?
So I spray it and check that so that it gets everywhere. So I take this to the vehicle.
Smarticles. Disconnecting things. Must I plug? Brother, are you okay?
Yeah, today I don't know what's going on, bro. Everything's beating
No,
me up.
but this one is angry at you for not driving.
I'm getting there, man. And they say women give you stress. Look at this thing.
In vernacular terms, we would say your problems are wearing high heels.
I like that. So we'll just plug that in. So now what I like to do, start with the problem one. So you see it's got stuck again.
And that's with no pressure.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys can hear that.
So now it's clicking. But still not as healthy as that click. Let me see. You guys can hear it. So that's a top click. That's a bottom click of the problem one. This is the bottom click of the normal one. See the difference? Normal, poor. So it sounds like there's stuff built up into there. So now, what I do with that is, while I'm clicking, and I know this is the the rear right, which is this one here. So there we go, and then give it some juice. And I give it some juice through here.
Already sounds a little bit better.
So the last time I did this was in January. So yeah, this lines up with almost a yearly service.
This is what a service looks like. You take the thing out. If you're looking for a leak, you spray all the fittings. So basically that's how you do it. I would recommend checking for a leak during every service if you're servicing it yourself. One,
now I have to take it out.
but we have to clean that one anyway.
Yeah.
I would recommend searching for leaks anyway during a service. One, because you don't want the leak to widen and get worse, and then you only discover it like when it's a problem. And it's also good to know that your bags aren't leaking anywhere. So you'll do the process that we did on that car. Spray everything with soapy water. Pressurize the bags as well so that you can check that. And then take the block apart, clean it, make sure your fittings are tight, make sure your wires are still running where you left them, all that kind of stuff, and you should be good. Oh, and clean out your water traps.
Yes, do that. so good.
That's what perfection sounds like.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed those videos, or this video, and you want to see
anything.
Yeah, if you learned something. If you want to see more on the Yaris, there's a Yaris playlist. You can go check it out.
We'll put a link in the description.
Yeah, we'll do that. And there's also a playlist for all the other cars that we work on that don't have specific playlists, like Walker. So if you want to check out videos on Walker that we've done, check out the Garage playlist.
Slam Garage.
That one. And so Walker and that one outside. You can check those videos there. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you.